Hello child, welcome back. I'm just shuffling your cards. And a quick update before we start. I did make a mistake today when I posted on my Instagram story that I'm doing the live for your mini readings today. I'm doing it tomorrow. Tomorrow that would be 2 p.m. my time, 12 p.m. UK time. If you want to, go check my Instagram post or story. I do have other times written down there, what that would be in USA. And let's get to it, shall we? Today we have the mysterious reading. I feel like I want to bring them back. Another quick update for you. I've decided to keep 7 to 10 day predictions for patrons, and I want to change topics here on YouTube. So if you want to see my weeklies, head to my Patreon and let's get to your mysterious reading. Pile number 1, pile 2 and pile 3. Tap in, use your intuition, and I'll see you in timestamps. Hey number 1, let's see what we got for you. A quick update in case you skipped the intro. I'm doing a live for your mini readings. These are one question, quick readings. If there is something that is bothering you, I'm doing it tomorrow, 2 p.m. my time, 12 p.m. UK time. Okay, what do we have here? And I've decided to keep my weekly predictions, which is 7 to 10 day predictions for patrons. And I'm going to be changing topics here on YouTube. So if you want to see my weeklies, head to my Patreon page. All links are down below as usual. You have the world to start with. I'm also using my intuitive deck here, too many. And we're going to tap in. These readings usually take me on a metaphorical journey, visual journey, so you're gonna have to see how that ties into your life. Oh, it's very emotional. Suddenly I'm feeling very emotional. Okay. Okay, ready, steady, let's go bottom of the deck. I know you don't know what these cards mean. I read from abstract art. Alrighty. By the way, if you are intuitive, you can read from a rock, you know. These are just the tools that we use to help us to relay past the message. Why I'm getting emotional in this reading, it feels very nostalgic to me. It feels like I'm looking for a home. And home is not a place really, it's the feeling that I'm seeking for. So I'm tapping into someone's emotional state right now, as if someone feels like maybe they don't belong. Maybe they don't belong in that circle. Maybe they don't belong in that location. Maybe even if they are in a good space, they're feeling that there is something else out there for them in the world that they haven't discovered just yet. And I am seeing, when I close my eyes, I'm looking at that ocean, I'm looking at all of those fish. And most of them are going one way. But there is little group of fish that decides to go the other way. And this is a metaphor for me that you may be in that smaller circle of fish and you want to explore new depths. This is very soulful. This reading, it's taken me on a soul's journey, as if I want to see what else there is in the world for me by not following someone else's footsteps or by going on an adventure. So your soul may be calling you or giving you hints to try new things, especially anything that's to do with a change of location. Or if this is not a location, and if it's not traveling or it's not relocating, then this means that some of you are being prepared to give birth to a new project or a new hobby. Basically, your soul is leading you towards a space, towards a thing where you will be able to rediscover yourself again. And if some of you have been feeling a little bit disconnected or off, that may be the reason. When you tap into that lack, what do you feel? If you could name it with using one word, how would you describe it? What are you lacking? And even if it doesn't make sense to you, some of you maybe gonna close your eyes and you're gonna ask yourself, okay, in order for me to get out of this disconnect, to be connected again, or not to feel this emptiness, what do I have to do? Some of you suddenly may get a very quick glimpse of a vision. Analyze what that vision means to you. Say, for example, if you suddenly see books stacked up, can it be something to do with learning a new skill or diving into education or expanding your knowledge, right? Or there is something to do with the books there for you. What you need to know, within the next couple of years, you are gonna be in a different space. It's gonna feel much more homey than it feels now, even if you are in a great spot right now. You need to know that things will be changing in your environment, and you will like that. I feel like you will definitely like that, but it feels like before you go there, you're gonna have to set boundaries with something else. This is a very interesting pile. You're almost at the end of a season and you are stepping into a new one. Almost. You may be getting quite a lot of signs from God, universe, source, whatever you believe in, whatever you call it. Because I do have my angel card here. I'm not big on angels, but every time I look at this card, it makes me think of a spirit that is watching over you, a spirit that is communicating with you. Especially, those signs may come through the sound. So you hear a whisper, you hear a message in a song, or when someone speaks to you, they talk to you, they may something that you've been asking about. They may say something that you've been asking about and you go, oh my God, I was just thinking about this today. This person answered my question. So a lot of times spirit talks through people. And I feel like in the future, more and more, you're going to be noticing that. You're going to go, okay, this is weird, but thank you. I got my message. What else we got here? I feel like a lot of you may be thinking right now about abundance, specifically. No, not specifically. This would be either emotional abundance, happy chappy, or financial abundance, because when I was shuffling the cards, I kept being pulled to the aventurine. So, by the way, if you're new here, I do hand make these, and they all consist of pure essential oils. Super great, not only for your physical body, but your spiritual one too. And I call this abundant self because of the essential oils that are in it and its properties, spiritual properties. And this smells like freshly cut grass with jasmine blooming. Every time I use the soap, it makes me feel happy, but at the same time, happy and nostalgic, as if I am remembering the old good days, but at the same time I'm very excited for the future and what's to come. That's the feels that I'm getting. Of course, all of us are different. It's gonna work on us differently, but that's the vibe. And in your reading, that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like I want to attract more abundance in my life. I want to figure out how I can get there. Okay, how can you get there? How can you get there? I'm getting a sense of secrecy here. It's almost as if I am not telling everyone how I'm gonna do it. I am working behind the scenes, working up a plan, a structure, and I'm gonna start acting on it once I'm ready. I'm gonna take the next step once I'm ready. So there is a sense of secrecy here. For some reason, I don't want everyone to know about my next steps. And again, I keep getting hints in this reading of the angel wings, and this relates to freedom. I think of freedom, I feel like you guys, and it's very funny, just before this reading, I went to take a walk by one of the monuments today. Well, the story is not very fun, you know, a lot of people died there, but there were a lot of words that I was reading on the monuments that related to freedom, you know, and this reading somehow ties into that. I want to be free. I don't want to be under any constraints. I don't want to depend on this or depend on that. I want to create my own freedom. Whoever is watching this has a really nice waist. I know, random message, but that's coming through here. Curvy, very nice waist. Something about your belly or something about your waist that you probably know about this, because people have been giving you compliments about that. Okay, anything else we need to know about the World card over here? You know that your abundance lies in the world. What does that mean? You may have to expand your radius. So the worst thing that you can do for yourself looking for this abundance is to close yourself off and to only visit places or communicate with people who you know, and not expand and not get to know new things. Your abundance lies in the world. Go and find it. I hope this made sense. Now, if you do want to check out my handmade ritual soap bars, this is for my witches or for people who really like to have a ritual at the end of the day, or they have a little altar for themselves, or they are spiritual. Check them out. I just recently did a live today where I packed someone's order. It was a really chill, nice live. Had to chit chat with you for a while, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Bye for now. Hello, group number 2. What do we have here? The Page of Pentacles, and in this deck it's called the Butterfly Snow Vixen. Okay, let's pair it up together with my intuitive deck. Give me a sec. Let's see what this means to us. By the way, in case you skipped the intro, a little update. Tomorrow, on the 21st of February, I'm gonna be going live and doing your mini readings. If you wanna book a mini reading, head to my website, or you can book it via PayPal. These are the quick readings that I do when I come on live. And another thing, I've decided to leave the 7 to 10 day prediction, the weekly predictions, for my patrons, and I want to keep changing topics here on YouTube and just kind of going with my intuition. So if you are in need of those, head to my Patreon and let's get to your reading. It's interesting, we have the Butterfly Snow Vixen. I have a couple of cards that represent cold time or winter time for me here. Let me tap in. I'm gonna adjust you slightly. Quite specific. This reading will be quite specific. It feels like someone is craving for a different temperature. It feels like, example, I live in a cold country, but what makes me really happy is living somewhere where it's mostly warm, or somewhere where there are really hot summers. And another thing that's interesting, pile number 1 was about environment. Pile number 2, I'm getting hints about environment. if you are watching this reading and if you always were drawn to a different location, but this is for my people who are like, since I'm, let's say, I don't know, 15 years old, I always wanted to live in Spain, for example. And that thought or that urge didn't leave you for years. This is a reading that is telling you that you can go and try it out. Because I'm getting a hint of, let's test it out. Let's not bury this dream. Let's test it out. So let's not, dive into head straight. But let's maybe live there for a month if you can. 2 months. Let's see how it feels like once the holiday vibes kind of rub off. So let's stay there a bit longer. Let's ask people, how things work there. The logistics. How is gonna be your work? What you're gonna do there? Are there any opportunities for someone who comes from abroad to live there? What do I need to do, right? How does that environment look like day in and day out? When maybe it's not high season, when it's not super, best weather. How would it actually be living there? By the way, whoever is watching this pile, you have a very unique style. I don't know who I am seeing in my vision right now. Really interesting patterns or textures of clothing. I'm also seeing someone walking a busy street in New York. And they dressed up kind of effortlessly, as if, I just put something on and I just left the house. I didn't think of it much, but it somehow works. By the way, my people, pile number 2, if you ever thought about studying anything or being in a career that has anything to do with design or aesthetics, this is definitely your lane. And when I say design or aesthetics, don't think of, let's say, only designing clothes, interior design, aesthetics. It could be to do with your face. Maybe you really like a nice brow and you want to do, I don't know, microblading or whatever the case. Anything that you do, I feel like you do it well, or you do it with pristine, I'm hearing mint, pristine attention to detail. You guys, maybe you have come here to hear that or to be reminded of that. You are here in this world to somehow make it prettier or more beautiful. And there are so many ways to do that. Listen, if that doesn't make sense to you at all, this is not your reading. If you wanted to be a lawyer and you keep aiming for that and this is your jam, this is not your reading. This is for my people who know that their soul has been kind of nudging them that way. That's something that they were interested since they were young. Interested in since they were young. Anything to do with design here, really, you would be great at it. But one thing that you would have to overcome are your own insecurities. Some questions that you may ask yourself that I'm getting here. Will this be understood? Or I feel like I'm afraid to go overboard. Or I'm not experienced enough to take a risk matching these two things. Your power actually here is somehow convincing people, the world, your followers, that it works. So the example that I'm seeing in my vision, someone who wears I'm seeing a tracksuit. Someone who wears a tracksuit that looks like 50 years old tracksuit, right? But they wear it in such grace and with such confidence that tracksuit suddenly becomes really attractive. You go, oh my god, this is so modern, old but modern. Where the other person walks in the same tracksuit, but you can tell their body language, they're like, I don't like it, or I'm not convinced of this, and that's gonna show. So you are being asked to tap into the first person's energy. I put this on, or I've created this and I'm super proud of it. I rock it. So make sure whatever you do here, whatever you create, you stand by it and you rock it. You are the one who makes it beautiful, pretty, authentic, professional. You are that person. You'd be a really great designer here, pile number 2. I allow these mysterious readings to take me on journeys, and it's one of those very colorful ones. If your vibe is moody vibe, don't try and do something else. Don't try and do something else. Don't be colorful. If your vibe is moody, darker tones, be authentic. Get to it. Okay? Is someone buying property or home? Because I do see someone buying property or home within the next couple of years. I'd say maximum up to 5 from now. If you're watching this reading thinking that I don't have any money for it, it somehow will appear. Maybe with a better paid job, better position, or some other opportunities that will arise where you will be able to put down a deposit and to pay your mortgage monthly. That's definitely the case for you. Your cards are indicating that there is this, almost like I'm seeing a wave that comes in, but it's very interesting in my vision. It's a transparent wave, and when I kind of zoom into the particles of that wave, I see coins, golden coins. So this is a representation that you won't see financial abundance coming, or the improvements may start happening very quickly. Let's say a lot will happen in 1 year that will elevate you. A lot will happen in 1 year that will elevate you. Okay, nice. And those little kind of particles of gold remind me of this card a bit. I don't know how much is going to show up on camera. Probably not much. But can you see these little textures over here? Little shimmer. That's what I saw. But it was so much smaller than here. It's much more visible when I'm looking at it from this angle. Okay, anything else here? Feels like there are a couple of different stories in pile number 2. What are you transforming into? An abundant life. This is my abundance card, by the way. This is also a card that represents being close to water or living nearby a body of water. So if your dream was to live not too far away from water, then that dream is definitely being realized in the future. Somehow everything is gonna line up for you so that you're able to do that. But when I say that, please don't just sit back, relax, and don't take any initiative. It's because of you that this happens. I hope this made sense. Now, if you do want to, check out my website for my ritual bars. I make them myself with pure essential oils. And they smell divine. I love them. And it's not because I made them. I know I made a really good product because of the reviews, the feedback, not the reviews that I've been getting. So if you want to check out my website, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have an awesome day. Hey pile 3, it got very quickly dark here, so I'm gonna light a candle. Let's place it right here. Perfect. Let's see what we got for you. The High Priestess. Nice. I'm gonna be using my intuitive deck together with the El Goliath Tarot. By the way, quick update, I've decided to keep my weekly predictions, 7 to 10 day predictions for patrons, which I've been doing for a while, because I want to keep changing the topics here on YouTube, and I want to explore some new topics that I haven't done before. So whoever needs their weeklies, I post it every Monday on Patreon. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right. This is gonna be one of those readings that will kick someone's ass lovingly. So if you're here for it, stay. This reading is calling someone out. Listen, and basically what it's telling, it's saying to someone, you very well know your power and the skill set and the gifts and the intuition that you got. You know that you're able to see past the bullshit, that you're able to tap into people's emotions, you're able to tap into the unseen. But why do you allow someone drain your energy or use you for your body? This reading is basically saying, remember your worth, okay? Because whatever is happening here or was happening here, maybe this is a past situation, it wasn't fair to you, but the tarot is not kind of pointing at the other individual. Tarot is pointing at you, saying, why did you allow this to happen? Don't you remember your worth? You are very tapped in. You're being shown, being represented as the High Priestess. The High Priestess doesn't give her energy and time just to anyone. You kind of have to prove yourself to her. She's got to warm up to you. She's got to see what you're about to let you close to her. She's also not giving away all of the intimate details about herself to just anyone. She's secretive, therefore she is mysterious. And this may be the reading where I'm being shown a change. I have changed so much, I'm hearing, from a person who was saying yes to whenever I got attention. I've changed so much to the person now who is kind of keeping it to themselves, has a good circle, a small circle, but a good circle, and is not giving themselves away just to anyone who shows little attention. You gotta win me over, I'm hearing here. I'm not gonna deal with individuals. This is my shouting card. This is like anger, pure anger and kind of caca energy. I'm not gonna deal or have around me those kinds of individuals. And I don't mean that you avoiding conflict at all costs. No, that's not real life. But you are avoiding someone who tends to be emotionally very irregulated to the point that they regulate or affect everyone around them. This would be an individual who, for example, they broke a cup, right? They were holding a cup with a coffee. Suddenly it slipped out of their hands and they broke it. What the regular person would do, they would say maybe, oh my God, or they would get scared. This person straight away goes into pure anger mode. Whoever this individual is, they're being shown to me as their nervous system is all over the place and they don't want to do anything to fix it. They're not recognizing that they are a person who kind of creates chaos all around them constantly. And when you would try and say something to them like, hey, calm down, or you could approach it in a better way, deal with it more gracefully, they get even more mad. So we're staying away from situations like that, people like that, because that literally completely messes everything for you. I'm talking emotionally and spiritually. You are becoming very protective of your temple, which is nice to see. If you are not becoming, you have became. See, some of you are on different time frame here. For some of you, I may be talking to you and you're still kind of giving yourself away, right, for free, metaphorically speaking, where others of you have overcome that. Or I'm not saying that you must have done that, but there was definitely a situation where you didn't see your value. And the other person didn't see your value too, because you didn't see your value. And you were like, okay, I've learned from it, not doing that again. Your cards are also telling me that in the near future, you will be able to tell, you'll be talking to someone in your circle, or even maybe a colleague, and you'll be able to tell someone that they may be dealing with a person that they need to kind of keep an eye on. And if I feel like you don't even know that individual, it feels like someone is talking to you about them and you suddenly have some sort of sensation, intuitive hint, and you go, I just gotta tell you this, I'm getting this vibe, So maybe you watch it. Don't be paranoid, but watch it. And then some time passes and this person comes back to you and says, yeah, you were right. So a lot of such situations may be happening in the future. I feel like you may be at the peak of your intuitive abilities right now. At the peak, what do you want to do with them? If it is overwhelming to you, it can be very overwhelming, you can switch it off. Can imagine through meditation or just sitting with yourself quietly, imagine that you are asking for it to be toned down or switched off. I used to do that when I used to do mediumship readings, and some cases were so intense that I had to literally sit down and imagine that I'm switching that switch off, because I would continue seeing things, but I was off work already, off the clock, right? So it's also when you do a work like that, it's important for you to know how to neutralize yourself. And it's important to have very good boundaries. If you don't have good boundaries in this physical world, right, with people, how can you have good spiritual boundaries? Okay, so that's really important. And I feel like you worked really hard on your boundaries so far, but what you need to know that your kind of this protection wall is going to be strengthened over time. And no, that protection wall doesn't keep things away from you. It's invisible. You are the one who decides what can pass through it and what needs to stay on the other side of this protection wall. So you're being shown as an individual who over time becomes stronger with one or a couple of their skill sets or abilities. And I'm really glad to see that. But another story that I'm hearing here, if you, let's say, gonna decide to become a professional tarot reader because you're very in tune here, know that you're gonna have to have really strong boundaries once you start working. A lot of people will suddenly want you to read for free for them. They will not even say hi to you. They will send you an email with a question or a message with a question. No hi, no bye, nothing, as if you're like an empty space. And they expect you to do that for free. right? So be aware of that, especially at the beginning if you're going to be doing this job, and have very clear standards for yourself from a get-go so you can filter out the flies and let in beautiful, mysterious moths. Okay? I hope this made sense. This was helpful. Now, if you are interested in my handmade stuff, I do make these ritual baths for my witchy time in the bathroom. This particular soap is made with pure sage and pepper essential oils. You probably know what that is for. That is to get rid of any and neutralize any energy after a long day, especially since I'm working with people. But this I created for everyone who is very tapped in, even if you're not working in this job, or someone who tends to bring a lot home with themselves. And there are different names for different soap baths because I've gathered certain essential oils depending on their spiritual properties. So they kind of orchestrate it in that way. Like the selenite would give you mental clarity. It's pure cooling peppermint, but there's also menthol in it, so it slightly feels not too much cooling. This is a really good one for me, at least when I feel like I need to wake up or I need this umph, you know. The aventurine is the one that is focused on abundance and smells like freshly cut grass and blooming jasmine. So if that's something that you like, head to my website, and thank you for being here. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.